So about a few months ago, we got the live action remake for How to Train Your Dragon. Um, I didn't have a channel at the time, so I never got to review this movie, but I'm gonna review it now. It's just kind of mostly criticizing the movie. Disney's been doing this live action remake gimmick for I think 10, 12 years. I can't really remember how long. I feel like the first one I ever saw was the Jungle Book one, and I remember that one being pretty good, but I haven't watched it since its release. But ever since that movie, I feel like every live action Disney or DreamWorks or anything remake has just been mediocre to shit to whatever How to Train Your Dragon is. And the main problem with these movies is it's either they change something about the original movie and fans complain because they love the original so much and they want to change it. Like Lilo and Stitch that came out earlier this year as well. Love Lilo and Stitch. It's one of my few 10 out of 10 movies, and the remake just changes so much and it's just not good. But I feel like if they did the exact same movie, I would have still hated it. And that's where How to Train a Dragon comes in. I think came out a month after the Lilo and Stitch live action remake, and I was so upset with this movie. Usually I'm not looking forward to changes in these live action remakes, but I think this is DreamWorks' first one. I could be wrong. I don't recall them doing another one. I'm trying to think right now. I don't think so. This might be DreamWorks' first live action remake, and it has the same director as the original three, and the same director as Lilo and Stitch, the animated one. So you have high hopes for it, but then you finish the movie and you kind of just sit in your seat and you go, "This was the same exact movie, wasn't it? Like bar for bar, word like everything, word for word, movement to movement. It's the same exact movie." They even casted Gerard Butler in the same exact role, which is cool, but it's like nothing really changes. Almost every single scene is, like I said, movement for movement, word for word. It just feels like I'm watching the same movie but in live action. And the problem with these live action remakes is they're actually just never prettier than the originals. And I why would I want to watch a live action remake of a movie that's exactly the same animated? I feel like these movies are just made for people who think animation is for children, and maybe it's made for people who just never saw the originals. I don't get the appeal of these movies. This movie's fine. It's just so dark and bland and boring, but it still hits the same emotions because it's the exact same movie as the original. The cast is all fine. I don't have a problem with any of the actors or actresses. I think they're all wonderful, and it's such a shame that they are just put in the exact same movie. I don't know what the plan is for live action movies going forward because either way, someone's going to find a reason to complain about them. Like I said, Lilo and Stitch changed something, everyone complained. How to Train Your Dragon changes nothing, everyone complains. There's just no winning. These movies are made for I don't know who. They're not like artistically great. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know. I'm assuming we're getting a second one with all the rumors that are coming out about it, but I don't want one. Especially because I think the second one is going to be a remake of the second one. I want a full. If they're going to do a remake, I'd be fine with this movie if the second movie in this live action franchise would be a completely different sequel, and maybe they can branch off a different path to where the animated sequels went, but I don't think it's happening. I think we're just getting a live action version of the animated movie. And it also is weird because How to Train Your Dragon isn't old. Like Lilo and Stitch came out I think in 2003 or 2001. How to Train Your Dragon came out I think in 2010. That's like not a big enough difference to justify a live action remake already. Like obviously it's DreamWorks' probably best movie and franchise up there with Kung Fu Panda and Shrek, but does it deserve a live action sequel this soon or a remake this soon? No. That's why I was kind of fine with Snow White getting one. I don't really know much about Snow White, but I do know I watched the movie that's from the 50s and I watched this modern one. That I think it's a good time split between a live action remake and the original animated movie. I'm not sure. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know. I hope these live action movies just take a different path in sequels or just try to tell a different story. I'm not sure. I don't have a rating for this movie. If I had to give it one, I would give it a 6. I'm not gonna put it on screen, but if I had to give it a rating, it'd probably be a 6 just because it's the original movie, just uglier, which is a damn shame. I don't know if I'm gonna do any more reviews for live action movies if they are like this one, live action remakes if they are like this one, because I'm just gonna utter the same exact points. Something like Lilo and Stitch, if I do review that at some point this year, I'll actually review it because it is somewhat different from the original. But that's How to Train a Dragon. If you haven't watched the animated one, I guess you can watch this one if it's still in theaters because I saw it's still in my theater. But the animated is way way better. So yeah, that's How to Train a Dragon, I guess.